over it. Him no have a chance to lift his head out if he go and lift his head out. Because them not see him as that because them not allow him to be there.
Well, hold on for me, TV man. Stay with me. Madsic, good night to you again.
I'm mute.
Boss, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, we are the viability of the opposition, People's National Party. Do you think that the ball game of politics that they have played historically, Madsic, because as I was sharing with my listeners, that Mr. Seaga suffered from the same ball game, Golden suffered, and Wholeness, I think even now, is suffering from it. So it seems like this is the PNP historically. This is the PNP's modus operandi.
It is the policy of the PNP to wreck their opponent to ascend to power. It has been since the 1970s with Michael Manley and Edward Seaga.
Tell me about that.
We have to remember that Edward Seaga was seen and was criticized in many ways, giving the impression to a section of Jamaica in the 70s that it was them that prosecute them, the Rastafari. Last night, Protect Jamaica touched upon that piece of topic there, but we don't really did dive into it that deep. But the fight has started from that, so it have always shown that this is a strategy of the PNP, and they have got no other strategy to come into power. Now, I don't want to dwell in the 70 much because I don't know the history, but with Seaga, we can chow that and talk about that. Let us realize what used to happen.
Yes.
Those times, as our caller before mentioned about the two media house that we had to depend on, TV, JBC, and CVM, they just come about vaguely. Remember, when we were coming on to any politics at all, there was an invasion in Tivoli. Because they have always given impression to Jamaican that Seaga is the leader of the worst set of people in Jamaica. Not a lot of Jamaica not knowing that Tivoli is surrounded by most PNP garrison. But because of the repetition that Seaga carry, when him not let nobody rough him up and bully him up, because in a politics in a them time, if you're weak, you can't stand. You have to have a strong person to stand up to the type of politics that we were at in the time that we are talking about.
Yes.
Now, Edward Philip Seaga was demonized to the T and to the core.
Yes.
And the state was used against Edward Seaga, the state, just like how we have.
That is true, sir. That is the ball game. That is the ball game of politics that was played by the party in government.
Yes. And from that is how I know from that moment, neighbor, before I went to England, that is how I knew from this country that is developing that media house are aligned with politicians. And when I went to England, I learned it more because so many newspapers in those countries, and all of them have got affiliation. Just like how we can sit here and we hear them and our president in America said CNN are fake news, ABC and everybody else, just because they are more democratic. So you know what I mean?
Yes.
Fox News get all I'm views and all I'm interviews because they are more Republican. So we know these things. So let me say this to you. I don't want to, let me stick on this first because you asked the question, I want to just stick to the question before I get into why I'm on the line. And it's a part of what we are saying now. But with Edward Seaga, I have seen where Seaga he knew what the fight was. And that in turn leave a civil fight in the party because people think that now Seaga wasn't good enough when he was the best, but he was so demonized and was portrayed to be hated by society.
By the PNP. By the PNP.
By the PNP, that even in his own party there was a fight that the year one thing named Gang of Five where Carl Stone used to write about.
Yes.
And him named Gang of Five, and what, Colonel Charles, where them call, you know, called Sabotage, Bartlett, I think it's the other one name, where the one name, and Errol Anderson.
Yes.
I don't know them, every one of them, because me not too old, so. Yeah, but understand the history. And these people went to this Edward Seaga, and there was a civil war. And so the Gang of Five come about, you know, enough people don't know, you know, because Seaga was demonized and he was set up, and some of his people didn't even realize what one. We never didn't have the know-how to get the message out, to show them, say, listen, this is not really what is happening, as we have known. If you listen,
in other words, the PNP was able to infiltrate even people within the Labour Party.
Yes. And remember that Tivoli always carried stigma, so people usually say, yes, this is it. And at those times, crime was out of control.
Yes.
So this seems to...
Is it true, Madsic, that the state was used to infiltrate Tivoli for political reasons whenever elections were coming up? Is that really true?
That is a fact, sir. Let me tell you how I know it's a fact.
It's a fact?
Every time.
Hold on.
It's a fact. Listen.
Jamaica.
What's the receipt? I'm going to give you the receipt.
Well.
And those who are old enough can remember that this is a fact. Listen. Whenever time there is an election coming up and they are doing political ads, these ads were always clipped. The scene of the police in Tivoli and the incursion and the people protesting and making noise were always used as political ads against the Jamaica Labour Party. So isn't that a receipt, sir?
Hold on. I want to be very clear. Are you saying to me that the government of Jamaica would send government of Jamaica, sir, would send the state into a community where Jamaicans live for political reasons, to gain a political advantage?
Let me ask you a question, neighbor. Have you seen any other garrison being under incursion as Tivoli have had, and you have never seen it after Edward Seaga? Let me do the maths. Does that make sense?
Listeners over by YouTube, could you please press that X at the top right hand corner and give us the thumbs up, please? And for TikTok, could you please send the heart me's and keep tapping, please? Sorry about that.
I'm going to ask you the question again, Madsic, because I want to be clear. You are saying to me that the government of Jamaica would use the state, instruments of the state, into a community where Jamaicans live to gain a political advantage?
Yes, Tivoli Gardens suffer that. Tivoli Gardens suffer that. And it happens mostly within the time of Percival James Patterson.
What?
Let's not forget. And every time, this is it. And it shows that they were a part of it because they were proud to use the clips that made the news of these incursions in their political ads every time to give an impression.
Those incursions, sir, that were frequent, were political incursions?
Then if the political party of the day, who were the government, the PNP, we're going to take those clips from the incursion when police got you and said them a face gunman, put it in their political ads and said, vote for the PNP. They are trying to give an impression, because we know how to highlight things. They are giving an impression to the pub that Tivoli Garden is so bad, and this man that leads Tivoli Garden, who is Edward Philip George Seaga, is the leader for him, so him have one tyrant and very aggressive and, what you call it now, criminal society a lead. That's what they do.
But sir, if that is true, that would be corruption of its that would be how are you saying to me, sir? What is this, man?
Never. We have the most corruption under PNP. The only thing the index didn't the only thing is this. You see, those politicians, them can talk certain things, certain place. And they know this. Of course, they knew this. This has been even spoken by with Desmond Mackenzie from political floor. When that did it, he might not say it as strong as how me say it, but the same interpretation carries the weight. You understand what I'm saying? But it is known, people who are in their over 35, 40 know this. Neighbor, the younger generation of Jamaica would know all of these things. Because, and look here, at the same time, this same community that they were demonized was one of the most outstanding community in Jamaica in a sports, drama, track and field, and you name it. And them never did recognize them for that, but they were sure. And remember, every other community around Tivoli, which is a garrison of the PNP, at that time, I think about 8 or 9, and them did exist. And they all have the same characteristic as Tivoli, in a sense, because that time they me afraid to go town as a countryman. Because of the repetition the town carry. We no fool and we no, I don't know, bring down nobody. I don't know, I may tell. We remember those days. Some people don't want to go downtown because somebody go pick your man, go up and bust and get pickpocket. When last we hear about pickpocket? We don't remember when last we hear about that. We hardly even see 3-card man per road. Because most of them are the same pickpocket them.
What is this man saying to me? Lord God.
No, but look at it now, to show you where we're coming from, neighbor. You see, a lot of things where we talk about the official part of politics, but we have to talk about some little nitty-gritty things, some little things where they're on the corner where you usually set the country from one part whenever they right. That's why you hear this Prime Minister now talk about law and order and chaka-chaka. Why you think you use the term chaka-chaka? It's for us to realize that we really don't want chaka-chaka state, because when they in your car and you dash your rubbish through the window, that chaka-chaka for true. You understand what I said? Think about it. When you come out of your car and just try on your pants and you go piss on the roadside, that chaka-chaka for true. So, in a foreign country, we can't do it. In a developed state, them. So, what the Prime Minister is trying to do is to give us the vision where we want to bring Jamaica. This man, all right, listen to me, neighbor. Seaga, don't right, was prosecuted, demonized. The country was distracted from a vibrant leadership that exists within those times, and we suffer from it until Andrew Oles come. Because if we never had Edward Seaga at the helm as leader, because remember this, when he was opposition and he made his budget presentation, all of the economists them and the political analysts them say make the best presentation, and him a opposition. Think about it. Remember those times, neighbor?
Yes, I remember.
So
I remember as a student. I remember as a student, sir, listening to Mr. Seaga's budget presentation. Is almost like you were in a university class. You remember his presentation about Sea Island cotton?
I don't think I do, because
okay, yeah. Well, he had this idea of using Sea Island cotton to transform the Jamaican economy. Mr. Seaga, you see, so had a passion for education. But let me ask you, sir, because you have shaken up my equilibrium quite a bit. Because I am a man of social justice, and you are saying to me that people would have died in that community for political purposes, for the advantage of a political party in that constituency.
Jesus, neighbor, it might sound ridiculous and people might think that I'm political biased. But let me give you an example. We are on this sabotage thing with the vice note with the PNP, where they must say they would have used the parish council if it run through the parish council if we use delay tactics. And then we are talking about how they want to corrupt and listen. Listen, you think I just know PNP answer? I said it last night. Let me give you an example. There is a very prominent social media content creator for the PNP who came out just about last week. She run viral. Where she cussed the PNP, them say she don't want none of them company media come and talk about my comrade sister, my comrade that, because at 9 months me live under trap holding. And my condition not change. And every morning you come for me for me page I wanna talk about comrade sister and say me in no one none I wanna come and pick me up. She said the only person she care about is Mark Golden. Now listen to me. When I heard she said that, I said, oh yes, I remember our His Royal Majesty opposition made the commitment when we had an argument about the increase of politician, when the Prime Minister said not taking money. He says that he's going to use his money to help people who are in need. Now, if this woman was social media content creator, every PNP know her and she a big up. And marketing can see this woman, and even if she have one charity we register, him supposed to can instruct them to divert some assistance to hurricane victim. In a even some loyalists them there. He don't look so bad. But him try to sabotage the government, and nobody no remember about him in 24 million when he could commit to helping to people who is in need. And the other day, in the last term, the Prime Minister didn't take his increase, but when he decided to take it, he come out on a ball. And although he haven't shown us one receipt of where that 24 million that he coming to people who are in need went to. And we see hurricane, and all we hear them do, fight the government and a plan to fight the government implementation of helping to develop people life in a rapid pace and to get the country moving with growth so more people have opportunity. They will fight that, and we must see him as show no formal leadership for sure. If he even try to get the heart of Jamaica for sure, because what happened, neighbor, the same game they play with Seaga, they play it with this man, as you said. They use the house with Peter Phillips when he was the campaign manager for Portia Simpson.
Yes.
Portia Simpson lose by 1. Them do it again when that with Integrity Commission. Then try to go after him again with in a Peter Phillips time when he become leader again with the same strategy. And when I see them go, PNP never ease up when it comes to try to demonize people character to get into elevate into power. They always do it, and that's their footprint, that's their blueprint, and that's their fingerprint, it's their DNA.
That's the ball, that's the ball, that's the ball game, sir.
It's that they play. That's the only ball game, that's the only philosophy that they know. Political science. That's what they do. They know this, them all only play politics. PNP doesn't know how to govern, but they know how to play politics. And I tell you something.
Yes.
I want you to pay attention to this. The same sabotage thing happened when it was in COVID, you know. When Nigel Clark have to stand up on him and Peter Phillips have a showdown, you know. When he said, no, the people that need assistance, now.
Yes.
No delay. Remember, Nigel Clark and him have it down, you know. Where was Mark Golden? Right behind Peter Phillips, we have here and tell Nigel Clark to sit down because remember Peter Phillips stood up and a stop point of order. So he expect that, and because the speaker gave him the okay to, which was Colonel Charles, he basically took the chance to stand up because Colonel Charles gave the okay, which means that Nigel could have should have sat, but Nigel Clark stand up and said, "Me not sit down until I tell the people let me shoot." Think about it, and Nigel Clark is not that tyrant person, but he realized that they were playing politics with COVID when people were in need. Nobody now got work out, people now get one Western in and they can't live there, and then they need a care package, and billions were to be distributed to help people. And them are all up here, and people forget them grants. Remember, PNP do it already, and them do it again. Every disaster they exploit. But good thing, Labour right a good manager and good management. But the weakness of the Jamaica Labour Party is their communication. I think that's where they fall short. That's why PNP get away with so much murder. And that's why them have 20 seats, 28 seats. Because even if I buy the vote for 30 or 40 grand, Jamaicans are sensible enough to take it. But they never have no option. Not for them. Me I tell you.
Yes.
And some of them didn't believe the truth about the 28th bank account. Remember, you know, the information never released until after the election, you know. About the exaggeration of the Prime Minister, you know.
Yes.
That he has been exaggerated from all of the corruption when they have bring upon him, you know. And you know, hear them talk about it anymore. But yet still, Integrity Commission are trying to protect for them integrity. And with all information that was supposed to be brought forward for sure, said the FID said, listen, the Prime Minister, you know. Somebody don't know who not come with.
Hold on there a little bit there for me, please. Hold on.
The government that will not shrink from its responsibility to provide for the people of Jamaica when it matters most. The Speaker, the need is now. The people need assistance now. There's no room for delay. No room for delay. Jamaica when it matters most. The Speaker, the need is now. The people need assistance now. There's no room for delay. No room for delay. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
On a point of order. The member is
Are you recognizing?
Order, Dr. Philip, you're on a point of order. On a point of order. Straight to point of order, please. The minister is misrepresenting. Dr. is misrepresenting the facts. There is nothing in what we have said that would cause any benefit to be delayed to any member. What we are talking about
But
is
that's not true, Mr. Speaker.
Sit down.
Point of order. That's not
Sit
true.
down.
That's not true.
Sit down.
That's not true.
Sit down and
Yes,
get
it's
finished.
not true.
Sit down.
It's not true.
Sit down and
Not
get
true.
finished. Sit down and
Not
get
true.
finished. Sit down
You
and
are
get
true.
finished. Sit down and
That
get
is not true.
Sit down
That
and
is
get
not
finished.
true.
Sit
That
down
is
and
not. That is not
I have
true.
not finished my point of
That is
order.
not
I
true.
have not finished my
Wait
point of
for
order.
what you're about to
I
say.
have not
You're not speaking the truth.
say.
A delay means a delay in benefits to the people. Tell them the truth.
There is
Tell
no
them the truth. You're not speaking the truth.
already. Dr.
We
Clark.
have others to pay. That's not the
Dr.
truth.
Clark. Dr. Clark.
Government that will not shrink from its responsibility to provide for the people of Jamaica when it matters most. The Speaker, the need is now. The people need assistance now.
Well, that's what he was talking about. Madsic, that's what you were talking about. The PNP trying to delay the COVID assistance. Eh?
That's exactly it, sir. Because we want to realize that people follow PNP footprint and realize that they are the devil's advocates.
The devil's
Speak as a
advocate.
lamb, they have the voice of a dragon. They speak as a lamb, but they have the voice of a dragon. Don't be sympathizing with them. Don't have no empathy with them. Cannot put themselves in your position. Because you are wicked if you do that. Because the wicked and wicked when them. They are a wicked set of people. How can you try to deprive somebody for you to gain political power? And remember, when these people get political power, for the 5-year term, some of them are carry home $70 million. When some people and their life have been empowered, and some of the people in life not empowered in the 5 years. Them wicked.
Oh God.
Me not like them. Me hate them. Me not like them.
Oh God.
Them wicked. How can people be so cruel? And then you hear them say one come quote the scripture. Listen to me, the devil know the Bible good. If you never know the Bible, you never know if you tempt Jesus. You hear what me tell you, neighbor? So when the Satan then come to you, then come in a wolf clothing. You see the one when you Nikisha Bertram with her ugly self. Listen to me. Hey, neighbor, I will not use any profanity. I can control that part, but we sound aggressive in my tone. But me not gonna use them in decent language. But then forget cuss out. Then forget somebody for cuss them out, neighbor. They're ridiculous now. They're going above board and they are collecting billions. The account general department collect billions to pay them and distribute billions to pay them every month. You know, say one MP collect for one member of parliament for a year. I collect $14 million and you're not minister. And when you look at some of these representations, and the people of Jamaica need to recognize that we were protesting about them pay, so if we demand them work. The PNP have a style now, neighbor. Them are grown to tell its supporters because the supporters them are echo it on the ground. Because I'm a person, I'm on the ground, I'm on the media, I'm in parliament, I'm all over. So me always know what one. And the people, the PNP, them on the ground, what them are trying to say is that the government has sabotaged them MP, why no work now done. That them have them people them are run with now. If you have sympathy for them. You hear me say, neighbor?
Yes.
And anybody who know politics the way me know. You see, we need to be more organized. Whether politics done or not. I remember Edward Phillips, Judge Seaga, when he was interviewed by Ian Boyd and Profile, he said, why is it that every time you go into the poll, PJ Patterson beat you. You know what Seaga answer was? He said because every time an election done, Seaga PJ start campaign.
Yeah.
And we not learn from that. So, and that is the reason why this Prime Minister, he made a statement boldly that the false information them will make, this administration will take it seriously. He even went further to say that some of the argument them were attack is on the borderline of defamatory and lawsuit. He said most of what he even says is against our current law, and he's gonna have the law enforced against them people there. And some more me leader for talk. We don't feel a wishy-washy leader. We feel stand up to them because them is wicked. And you know why I love Andrew Wallace? Andrew Wallace is a humble man. He was brought up in a Christian home. And you can see that God blew him breath upon this man to lead Jamaica. You hear me say he was an Adventist. And if anybody, I'm not being partial when it comes to denomination, but I know the Adventist message very well. And I know that this man is a true man of God. You hear me say?
And what you say to me?
What you say to me? Yes. And that's why them can't. You know, hear the man talk say, make me tell you and your friend them, no weapon no war conspire against me shall prosper. Never waver for the political floor. In the passion that he used, you can see it on his face. He was undefeated. That is the man of God.
I will say.
Certified. Listen to me. Remember this. Marcus Garvey was the first man that was sabotaged by the PNP.
What?
But no found remember that. I'm going to give you one little brief history. Remember that the Marcus Garvey party older than even GLP party. Remember.
Go ahead.
It was only formalized later on. Hold on, neighbor. It was only formalized later on, but we need to remember this. Michael Manley demonized Marcus Garvey because of his color. And remember that he was half mixed race. So the colonial master them did have him as a preference. But why they couldn't beat Marcus Garvey, he was educated. And he knew the Bible. And when he speak, he was able to interpret the scripture to edify people without even telling people say Bible him talk about. And when people see it, then call him the prophet. But him not a prophet. And know him know the Bible in them time that a lot of people didn't understand because he was bright. He was a scholar, he was a bright boy. May I tell you? So what happened? That's why Marcus Garvey stand firm. Remember, Marcus Garvey had to went in exile because of Norman Manley. He had to went to England and live and they say dead. And Edward Philip Seaga go for him body. Because you have to remember that. Political tribalism was at war. Bustamante couldn't even touch it. Shearer couldn't touch it and the rest of them never spend no time. Think about what me I say. And when Seaga come now, Seaga no politics. That's why he was able to stand firm. Because enough of the man them we call themselves gang of five, but Seaga make them tough. Because them have a leader we never serve. Why do you think the PNP is the way they are? All of them are arrogant and disrespectful and lack of respect for the decorum and law and order and principle. Because it's the same way Mark Wallenstein. So you see, why you think Labour right when they made their presentation, it is so demure and to the point and factual because that's so Labour Party leaders.
Demure.
Yeah, you know, so Labour right something like nice.
I beg your pardon.
Listen to when you talk, neighbor. You sound like say you're the band one of the big media hosts long time. No people ask anybody when I come if I'm not alive.
Who is that?
You sound like a radio personality, like you the long time. Yes, that's why I listen to you from the inception. I say this will happen. I will predict this. I'm gonna be telling you this. Soon and very soon, you will have your own show on one of Jamaica's biggest radio station network.
Misa? No,
never.
No, that's it.
No.
What are you saying to me?
I'm not talking to make you feel hype up, I know. The way you carry yourself represent yourself. It is edifying.
I see.
It is exemplary. You are not an aggressive person. You are very to the point. You make the facts known. You bash it when it is to be bashed. All right, then I can understand that you've got a lenience, but that doesn't change the fact. I've heard you spoke about things that you think should have done this way, rather than that way. When did it come to labor right too?
Yes.
You listen to your neighbor a long time. You understand? So we realize that you've got the balance to be a personality to carry it through. Believe what me I said to
You know, sir, it's a demure. I am demure.
You're very good at what you do. And you will only grow more.
Oh, thank you.
I remember when I tuned in months ago and I was on, you only have maybe 50, 60, 100 people here. We are seeing 500 and 600 now every day.
Yeah, well.
About that. So we are good. And this is on TikTok I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your other network. I'm talking about TikTok. And if you testify to this, you say, I'm not lying. This guy is following me. I'm telling you the truth. But the other thing that I want to talk about, neighbor, let's look at this.
Just a moment, please,
Okay.
Madsic, and please allow me
Okay.
to interrupt. Listeners over on YouTube, could you please give the thumbs up to the live stream over there? Press that X at the top right hand corner and just press the thumbs up. And for TikTok, please tap, share, repost, and send a heart, miss, please. Thank you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you.
Neighbor.
It's yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. We listening to you.
Neighbor, politics is a chess game.
Yes.
And you have to be brilliant to be able to calculate the next move that is ahead of you. And we've got a leader and a prime minister in this man, Andrew Holness, is very calculated. He's very humble because when you are humble, you observe more. When you are aggressive, it seems as if you are in market, you are busy. You can't realize somebody will push up their mouth on you and you not even realize. Because you're so into yourself. But when you're humble and you give a listen ears, you will realize that something just come across your eye that you're not even there to look on. Because you're meant to see it. Now this leader, I've listened to one of the PNP them talk. And I can tell you this. Either Andrew Holness is a genius or he is just the right man to lead Jamaica. Because I heard somebody says that NARA only came about since this storm. But I don't think so, The Prime Minister have always talked about bureaucracy and red tape. That is prevent development from moving forward.
Yes.
So if he is talking about it, he is thinking about some way to get around it.
Yes.
So when I heard last night, two of our callers, Protect Jamaica, with all due respect, I'm not trying to contradict him. But I think he says that NARA is the ticket forward. Andrew Holness of the mind could I implement NARA long before this time. But God was on his side to ensure that the third term is secure for Jamaica productivity, security, and prosperity.
Aye.
And I said productivity, security, and prosperity. When our Prime Minister said in Samshad Square, or Arthur, one of the both, one of two, that he would like for Jamaica's people then door open. Them think a joke. Right now, nearby time hot, every house for me door open.
What do you say to me?
Listen to me, neighbor. And me can tell you, everybody when me know, them say every night them have you open them door and them window. Then, when me hear people used to assist so. Because the time hot, and enough people can't afford AC. Think about it. Some people find out spinning at you, them still have you up in the window. Whereas woman will tell you, say, them can't take eat.
Oh.
So them all up in all them windows. So where that come to? That come to fulfillment. It might sound sarcastic or jovial, but that's not a joke. A serious thing. Listen to me. We are seeing a spike in murder. And listen to me. It's no surprise if it is politically motivated.
What?
I never said that it is, but it is no surprise. This Prime Minister have come up with a master plan because he's a chess master to move Jamaica. Because remember, on the last time when he secured a third term, and not because of popularity. He says it on a